So I'm here in Finland, where we're restoring this historical building. The building was once home to Adolf Erik Nordenskiöld, who was the guy that was the first one to sail the Northeastern Passage. And that means the thing we do is under the gaze of the Finnish Historical Society. And we've been asked to use this Ehta insulation, which is something I'd never used before. It can be used in two ways. Firstly, simply by hand, which is what we decided to do downstairs. Breaking open the packets and spreading the contents out, making sure to get rid of all the clumps and mix in some air. The results were quite good. But upstairs, we've got a very big area to cover, about 100 square meters that we want to fill to 30 centimeters in depth. So we're going to blow the insulation in up here, and I'll show you how we do that. So as you can see, the place has been prepared with the barrier paper laid down. Now you can use the standard kind of blower that you'd use for other types of blow-in insulation, but we used this quite powerful 10 kilowatt 3-phase blower, and that meant we had to get a bit creative. So we put together this temporary box where we'll break the bales apart, and then via the blower duct it into the building.
Käynnistetään tää puhalluskone. Tässä on kaksivaiheinen käynnistys. Eli ensin pyörii ja annetaan kiinni.
So one thing that certainly can be said for this stuff is that you could call it sustainable. It all comes from Finnish forests, and here in Finland they have a tree replanting policy of about 150 million trees per year, which actually means that despite the fact that forestry and lumber products is a big part of the economy and a huge export, there's nevertheless year on year more trees rather than less. And if you add on to that the fact that this Ehta insulation is in fact a byproduct of that lumber industry, then yes, I guess you can give them that. It's sustainable. So here's some of the stuff we learned. We started off breaking up the bales with a garden fork. We tried spades, we tried hand tools, we even tried an industrial paint mixer. In the end, we realised we needed a much more high-tech solution. So we went with a sharpened stick, which was way better than anything else we had tried. By far the best tool for this job. Now these bales, like the wood they come from, have a grain to them, so they split much more easily in one direction than the other. The next best tool is your feet. Just get in there and kick it around. As evening approached, we tried mixing it up a bit, tried a longer intake pipe, but it didn't really work. We were better off before. One thing we certainly learned was that no matter how powerful the blower is, you can overfeed it. This is how the pipe should look. But if you're feeding the material in too fast, then it will begin to build up in the bottom of the pipe and the suction will reduce. We lost a little bit of time on this. We managed to block the pipe twice before we realised that we needed to keep an eye on it. It's going to happen a lot more often if you've got a lot of twists and turns in that pipe. But just keep on top of it, and when the build-up starts, take a pause and let the pipe clear. So we did this over 2 days. But we figured out that using the setup that we're using, we were able to install about 2.3 cubic meters of insulation per hour. So that's my take on this Ehta insulation now that I've used it. Overall, I'm quite impressed, which is why I'm doing this video. When I was first told we were going to be using this stuff, I did some searches online and couldn't find much information, so I thought I'd maybe put a video together myself. I'm not being sponsored by the company, I'm not an employee. I will contact them and ask them if it's okay to put a link to their website in the description. Hope this is helpful to somebody.